Okay, I just wanted to show you, this is the second treatment with the Miraness Powerlift Superstar Eye Sheet Mask. I was going to do it on the weekend, but I really didn't have the time because I really want to devote the time that they suggest. They suggest 20 to 30 minutes to rest, lie down afterwards. So I did that today, and I'm about to take it off. It's just time to take it off now. So I wanted you to see again because I really feel as if that first treatment made a difference for me. So let's see what happens with treatment number 2. Take it off. Oh, that's looking really good. Let's see. Again, this is the treatment that they recommend that you do once a week. So it's really a week and a half. But I think it's looking really good. I have absolutely nothing on my face at this point because I wanted to do that first. So what I can do is I can show you the application of my regular skincare in the morning so that you can take a look at it. I always start, once my face has been cleansed, with the Tatcha Luminous Deep Hydration. And what I do is gently, very gently shake that. And you're supposed to use one large bead for the whole face. I don't. I take little mini beads for each section. Does not take much. It's extremely hydrating, has a lovely scent. Now I know some of you are not going to want to use this because it's a little on the pricey side. Son of a gun. Okay, let's see. Get this side done. Let me do and then a 4th little bead for my forehead. And that's it. Okay. The next thing I do is my eye treatment, and that is my Amazon Aqua Intense Hyaluron Ogen Cream Eye Cream, whatever that is. And I've been using this for years. I have tried other things. I've liked them to greater or lesser degrees. It takes very little, and I'm running out of it, so very, very little. And then I just do it all around my eye. Okay. And I'll do the same. Oh, I took too much for the other eye. Now I know Sharon had recommended using that rollerball. So let's see, I've got the rollerball in here someplace. And going around. I don't know if I'm going to do it today though because I just did all the other stuff and I don't want to change whatever it is that is or is not working with that because I want you to see it as it is. So I'm thinking that it's really pretty good. The next thing that I will apply is my Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench. And I'm starting to run low on it, but I will tell you, this has really lasted me a very long time, so I cannot complain. It is not inexpensive, but it goes such a long way. This is so hydrating. It's a really light moisturizer that hydrates. It feels really wonderful. I don't have any others that I've ever used that feels quite like this. Okay. it. I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then I'm going to apply the Clarins so that you can take a, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I still have to do my neck. Sorry about that. All right, this is my Emerson Vino Lift for the neck. It's different in this. I can't quite figure out the light this way, so bear with me till I get it right. And this I apply to my neck, and I apply it in an upward stroke. I don't use a lot. I will let that dry, and then I'm going to put on my Clarins. I'll show you that part. I'm not going to do the whole makeup in front of you today because it's going to wind up being a crazy long video. And I really came on today basically to tell you when I'm going to do the live stream and give you a couple of times that work for me and tell me what time you think would be the best. So I'm going to go based upon the comments below about which of the 2 times it's going to be. So bear with me for a minute while this dries, and I'll come back and do the Clarins. The next step is the Clarins, and this is the Beauty Flash Balm. So I'm going to start with my neck, and I'll show you the way I do it. I just take a little bit of it like this, and I'm going to start to apply it. And once again, I'm just kind of patting it in. They said not to rub it, so I'm not rubbing it. I'm just patting it in to my neck. And then it has such a nice scent. It really does. It's a very fresh scent. And then I'm going to take another dollop of it for my face. So I'm going to rub it together and just kind of apply like this. Just like this. Now again, I just started with this. I may be doing it right, I may be doing it wrong. It did seem to help. So if it seemed to help, it seems to me that's the ultimate determination. Okay, I'm going to just do a little bit here on this area that's a little tough. And again, just bringing it forward. And let's see what it does. Now it said to let it, or somebody told me, to let it sit for 5 minutes before I then put my makeup on. So I think what I'm going to do is I will just put on all my regular makeup, and I will do the eyes for you because I'm going to try something a little bit different today with the eyes. And then again, we're going to talk about just which is going to be the best time for the live stream, and you'll help me decide which of the 2 times to do. I have a little bit of a time constraint based upon my light, so that's going to be a factor in it for me, but we'll take it from there. So I'll be back as soon as the rest of my makeup is on, except for the eyes. Okay, I'm ready to start applying the eye makeup now, and I think the plan is to do some kind of a smoky eye, but I'm thinking more of a halo type today, and let's see how it plays out. So what I'm going to do is, I already have my primer on. I'm going to start by using this brush that I had. This was the one that I had gotten with the Profusion palettes, and it's really a nice brush. I'm going to do the transition shade first, and what I'm going to do is, let me see, I really wanted to go in with a warmer brown, but I'm not really seeing a nice warm brown in this, so I'm going to have to go in with the taupies. All right, I'm going to go in with this one. Let me see what it's called. This second taupey color, and then I'm going to go in with the darker one. So, that's odd. It's called Matte Khaki and Shimmer Chocolate. Matte Khaki and I don't want shimmer. That's not going to work. Okay, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to start, let me start with the third one, this one. Then let me go with this, and then I'm going to come in with this one instead. I don't want to shimmer for my transition. So I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to do this one in the transition, I think. I'm not 100% sure, I never am. So I'm going to start it again with this fluffy brush. And let's see what we can get to start the look. I don't want to go too high on this one because since it's a halo eye, I really don't want the color too far up. So let's see what we get. All right, the taupey color, it definitely doesn't kick up any kind of a dust, and it doesn't have all that shadow all over the place. I don't feel like I'm getting as much pigment from this one. I'm now going in with the darker taupe. And let's do this. Again, this is so not what was planned at all. But I'm trying to use that really inexpensive palette from the Ulta kit and see where that takes me. So again, because it's a halo, what I'm going to want to do is bring the color down on the outer and inner third. Let me do the other eye. I'm assuming you can see what I'm doing since I'm at a different angle. If it doesn't work, I'll figure something out for the next time. All right, I'm starting to get some kind of definition on this. I need a smaller brush at this point, and I'm going to just take the other end of this, the flat brush, and I'm going to go in with, first I'm going to go in with this taupe, and then I'm going to go in the darker brown. And I am just, yeah, this is not doing much of anything at all. Yeah, this one feels a lot like the Emperor's New Clothes. Like nothing's there. Although it actually is. I think I'm just used to seeing so much more pigment from some of the other kits on the first go-round. In a way, it could be better to do it this way, to have it slowly and softly building. And I think I'm going to take a different brush the next time for this. All right, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to go up into the crease with the taupey color to give me some more definition again. All right, I need a softer brush. Let's see, this one looks good. Strangely enough, this had come with one of the Urban Decay kits, and I really like this one, although I just washed it and I see a couple of the hairs are sort of sticking out in the wrong direction. I'm going to have to make sure in the future when I wash it that I sort of put them all together before I let them dry. Okay, let me take the other one, and I'm going to go into the brown at this point. And I'm going to, again, bring that into the outer third. I'm just not getting a lot of color payoff with this. So maybe my first reaction to this eyeshadow was a little too enthusiastic, considering what I'm getting now. Done with a really good palette, I'm assuming this is going to be a really nice look. Although this might end up being a good idea because it is daytime, so I am not. Now don't forget, I have done nothing in the center yet. All right, let me try this. And let me do this. And again, going into the crease and into that outer third. And just getting that little bit of brown built up. I'm thinking I would really like this a lot better if it were a little bit of a warmer brown, but it's definitely building up. You can see it building up slowly. which means also, of course, I'm going to be using more of it. So once again, I need to kind of go back to my Profusion palette, and I'm loving that Profusion a lot. As I do the berries. Okay, what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to put, should I put a little bit, I'm thinking perhaps I should. No, I'm going to try it and see what happens. I have a feeling with this, the payoff is just not going to be huge. I don't know whether there are several nice little shimmer shades here that I could use. I could use the gold. Very nice. I could use the gold one. I could use the gold one. I could use this taupey one. Or I could use this other kind of taupey one up here. I'm going to try the gold and see what happens. I'm going to try to apply it to the center. See what kind of a color payoff I get. Actually, I'm surprised. I'm getting much more than I expected to. Do you ever feel as if you think you're getting the middle of your eye and it winds up being more on one side or the other? I feel as if I want to say to myself, go for the middle. I'm not quite there. Yeah, I'm using the gold one and I'm liking the way this is working. This is good. Now, what my issue is, generally speaking, I don't go terribly high with, now I'm going to use a more defined brush because I want to get right up into that area. Now this one is more powdery. I want to get right up into the crease with this. Now what I could do if I chose to is I could put a little water on it and get some more intensity. But for now, I'm going to just let it be what it is. What I'm going to need to do, and I may need to, I sort of hate to bring in another palette when I was trying so hard to make it work with this one, but I think I may have to go into another palette to pick up a little bit of a darker brown and a little bit more pigment. Of course, I don't have any of my other palettes handy. Let me see what I've got right here. I have one of the Morphes, so let me see what I can do with that. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to blend this in a little bit because I don't want any defined lines. So again, it's just giving me that bit of a halo look. It's not as defined as I would like it to be because this eyeshadow is just not as pigmented. Of course, the one that I find has basically the purples in it, so it's not the best choice. However, there are a few browns, so I'm going to pick up one of the browns from here and see what I can do. All right, let's see. I'm going to pick up, wow. I'm going to pick up, oh, of course there are no colors on it. Oh, no, the sheet has no colors on it. So I'm going to pick up this. I think I'm going to pick up this brown because it's darker, the one up here. So let me see how that works. That's sort of much better. It's giving me much more color there. So, all right, the other palette is not terrible, but it's by itself for a more intense look. Obviously, it's not going to work alone without some help from something else. And once again, I'm just going to kind of blend this. I don't want it to get really sloppy. Okay, so do you see that I'm getting that sort of a halo effect? It's not as intense as I would like. I think I may use one of the Stila Magnificent Metals to punch it up a little bit in the end. So let's do this. And I'm adding that darker brown. And I am adding that darker brown in the outer V. I always like my left eye better than my right eye. I feel as if maybe because I'm a lefty that I just do that eye better. All right. I'm going to have to get a dark brown pencil to do the rest of this because I have to do my under eye first before I finish the rest. So I'll be back in a minute. I have just sat here putting on my makeup on my eye and doing my mascara and curling my eyelashes and telling you how I do it, and the camera was off. It's one of those days, so forgive me. All right, I'm gonna do the other one then for you on camera because it does make a tremendous difference. Again, I'm using the Wet n Wild Max Volume Plus that I got in that kit of 5 Wet n Wild mascaras that I was trying for you. And I am definitely happy with this. I think it's good. It's a question for me. Biggest issue for me is getting used to the wand because I'm not used to a wand that moves around. You know, it's a wee bit too flexible for my liking. One of these days, really soon, I'm going to experiment with those fake lashes, but today is not the day. All right, so I'm going to need to hear from you, which is going to be a better time for you, for me to do this, to do my live stream. I can do it Friday sometime around 12 o'clock Eastern time, or I can do it later in the day on Friday if it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't do it much past that only because of my light. And if I do it at that time, the chances are I may have to do it in a different room that gets the sun at later in the day. So I have to get to my western exposure to get the sun that way. Now, as I said, this particular smoky eye is a very subtle one, and it is certainly something you could do easily during the day. It's a work in progress for me, and of course I'm trying to rush the end of this, so I'm going to make a bloody mess out of it. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to add some finishing touches. I need to do my powder, my under eye powder. Okay. Wrong powder. I want the translucent powder. So I'll take a little bit of that. Again, it's my Miraness. Okay. Why do I keep saying okay? Even though I still have visible bags, they are so infinitely better than they were. I don't know if you can see it yet, but boy, I can see it here. Big, big difference. So it works for me. All right, I'm going to use my I need to use my strobing if I can find it. Again, I'm going to use the strobing from the inexpensive palette, and I'm just going across the top two, and I'm going to just apply it a little bit here, just to give me that little bit of a glow, to try to fool the world into thinking that my skin is not as old as Methuselah. I like to have it go up to just under my brow bone to light that area directly under my brow bone, and then I'm going to do the tip of my nose. Except this time I feel like I got a stray hair. All right, this is not giving me the glow I want. I always do a little bit in here to light the center of my forehead. And I will do my Cupid's bow. I will also, because I have that inferior jaw, I will just do a little bit in here. So that is it for that. I'm going to put on my lipstick, and today I'm going to use the Miraness pencil in that darker kind of a mauvey. Is that the dark mauve? I can't tell. Of course not, I had the wrong side. Okay, I'm going to do it in the darker color because I want a lip with a little more color, so bear with me. Now, I don't overdraw my lips, but I do go to the very end of my lip, again, because I want that more pouty look. And as we age, our lips can fall into our mouths. I really like these pencils. They glide very easily and they really work well. For the lipstick itself, I'm giving that NARS another try. This is the one I had gotten in that kit from Sephora. That was in the Superstars. And this is matte, so I'm not loving the matte, but I will give it a go. Let's see. I know I brought all the lipsticks over. Okay. The next, again, I'm using that old Maybelline 305 Copper Charm as the second color. Just again, to continue that gradient. And polishing it off with my Love Me Do in the Honey Fizz. All right, I have a little too much of the Love Me Do, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the Maybelline over it. I just want it to look like a highlight. I don't really want to look like it's different colors. The last thing I'm going to show you for that look is if you want to punch this up, and it looks perfectly fine the way it is. It really does. But I'm just going to take a little bit more from that first palette from the Ulta Train Case and see if it works. It may not. I want something that's going to give me, that's going to really pat it in, so let me use the flatter brush. Take a little bit of the gold, and I'll just put it right in that center. I feel like that's doing nothing. I want to make it pop, but I don't want to make it outrageous. So that's going to be the finished look with the eyes. I'm a work in progress. I definitely will get better at this too, but I do like this for a little bit of a change. And once again, let me know if the Friday time is going to work for you for the live stream. I can do, as I say, sometime around 12 o'clock. Or I can do anytime between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. Let me know if either of those times works for you, and if they do, which time works better, because once again, I'd love to have you with me, as many of you as want to do it, so that we can kind of have an interactive a little bit thing. If I don't know what I'm doing, I warn you again, so it's a first for me, so you're gonna have to give me a little bit of leeway on it. So you'll let me know what you think. I guess I'll come back in a minute with my hair on so you see the completed look. But aside from that, it's done, and I'm kind of liking it. It's a little bit more subtle in the center than I would have liked it, yet without the right color, I don't want to put something on that I think is the wrong color. So I'm going to leave it at this, and that's it for today, except for the reveal with the hair on. Be right back. Okay, here I am with the final look, and that is it for today. Again, it's a very, very subtle looking smoky eye. I can do something much more dramatic for evening, but this is a nice daytime look, I think. Tell me what you think. We can play with more looks with this. Once again, Friday 12-ish, 12, 12:30. Whichever is better, or anytime between 3 and 4. If Friday does not work for you at all, let me know that also. I'm assuming that the weekend is no good because people are doing whatever it is that they do on the weekends, and I certainly don't want to intrude on that. So let me know what you think, and I'm also putting together the video with the photos that I got, and I thank you for those who sent me the photos. Now, some of the photos were very small files, and some of them are not that clear, so I'm going to do the best I can to bring them to you in the best possible form that I can. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. Take care and have a wonderful day. As you can see from the light reflecting on me, the sun is out. What a gift. Take care.